I wanted to share some quick June new releases that are going to be on my TBR. This is going to be really shorter than usual because I actually declined a lot of books in June. This seems to happen a lot during the summer months. Publishers are really putting forward a lot of contemporary, lighter, what I call like fluffy reads. Some people call it chick lit, and I'm just really not into it. So I declined a lot, and I guess people think that's like the quintessential summer read, but it's just not for me. So I only received 3 books for the month of June, but I do have a lot more coming for the subsequent months as they sort of move out of that phase into more well-rounded offerings, in my opinion. So this will be pretty short, but I hope you enjoy it nonetheless. The first book is technically cheating because it was a May 28th release, but I did not receive it until June. And by the way, all of these books in this video happen to be from Random House, who kindly gifted them to me for free, so thank you Random House as always for being a great partner. So without further ado, that first book is, and I'm not sure how you're gonna react to this, okay? Because we all know what happened on my last Stranger Things novel review video, but here we are. Apparently, I have no self-control. And what's hilarious is that people in the comments here on YouTube and in Goodreads were like, are you gonna get book 2? And I think I responded back saying, no, I'll totally resist. Alas, here we are, guilty as charged. In my defense though, the story is about Hopper, who I love and I think is one of the greatest character transformations, character reveals across a season, like maybe ever, one of the greatest. So that in itself is hard for me to resist, and the author is different. It's Adam Christopher. I've never read his work before, don't know anything about him, and I'm gonna try to keep it that way until I finish it. I will say I read the first page just to sort of get a taste of it this time instead of going in blind, and I already like it better, but we shall see. That's not an endorsement or anything. Let me finish this and then I will get back to you. But yeah, I couldn't resist. If you missed my review video for the Suspicious Minds, a Stranger Things novel by Gwenda Bond, you might want to watch it. If you feel like watching me complain for about 17 minutes about one book, that would be the video to watch. Really didn't like it, really didn't recommend it, but I still can't help but be pulled in by this franchise. I'm sure you understand. So I really hope I like it. To be honest, I'm gonna go in blank mind. I'm just gonna let it happen because I think that's the best way to go in. I don't want to go in thinking it's gonna be bad. I don't want to go in thinking it's gonna be great. I'm just gonna let it be whatever it is, and hopefully that's a good thing. I'll link to the Suspicious Minds review if you want to watch that in the description. But without further ado, on to the next. This book is a little non-fiction that completely blew my mind. Yes, already read it. It is The Last Pirate of New York, A Ghost Ship, a Killer, and the Birth of a Gangster Nation by Rich Cohen. This book is such a whirlwind, and I freaking loved it. I gave it 5 stars, which I almost never do. This isn't a review video, but I'll just say, I mean, I already read it, so you should get it. If you're at all interested in stuff like true crime or history or just darker stories in general, then you'll totally love this. It's great storytelling because the story itself is just stranger than fiction, but it's also told by a great writer. It's efficient, but without leaving anything out, and I really appreciated just all the tones of this book, all the little details he threw in without ever going overboard, and it was just really fun. Let me give you the basic premise for this, but before I dive into that, let me say that this is the sort of story that you can't wait to tell your friends. It's the sort of story that is so crazy that it has to be true. It's fascinating, it's dark, it's terrible, it's strangely enlivening. I mean, it's a lot of things at once, and I really want to have people over, which I almost never do, just so that I have an excuse to tell this story to somebody. So here is the historical setup for this novel. In 1860, a ghost ship is found adrift in the straits off Coney Island. Now, when someone finally gets aboard, there's clearly evidence that something horrible has gone down. The deck looks like it is washed in blood. The crew, nowhere to be found. All that remains of the crew that was aboard the E.A. Johnson is blood, a shirt with long tears in it from a knife, and 4 human fingers disconnected from a body. When they go into the cabin of the ship, it looks like a tornado has blown through. Stuff is everywhere. You can tell some sort of scuffle has happened if you look at the ceiling. There is marks from some sort of object gouging out the wood. So clearly, something terrible has happened here. Now, this ship was just on a routine pickup for oysters from New York to Virginia. It didn't even make it out of the New York area before whatever happened, happened. So what did happen that night? Who was responsible? And what sort of evil could make this happen. Enter Albert Hicks, the last pirate and the first gangster of New York. And as he is found out for this crime, he confesses to hundreds of others. It's mind-blowing, crazy, and I really want you to freaking read it so that we can talk about it, please. I really want you to read it. I'm gonna be trying to force this on everyone for a long time just because the story is crazy and I want to know more. I can't believe I didn't know about Albert Hicks before now, but yeah, what a ride, man. What a ride. Last but not least is a really buzzworthy book this year, Recursion by Blake Crouch. I never read Dark Matter. Don't be mad at me. It just never happened. I never got a review copy, and usually when that happens, I just never get it, usually, because, I don't know, I just, you know, I'm on a schedule, okay? So I never got Dark Matter, but I always heard great things about it. I was always curious about it. So when this popped up in the offerings, I said, heck yes. And I do know a few other reviewers who have already read this who are saying that it was just a complete mind twist, like they couldn't believe it, they were questioning reality after, just that it was a phenomenal read. So I'm definitely intrigued by this, a little unprepared mentally, I think. And the premise is this. There's a phenomenon going on called false memory syndrome, where people are being tormented by memories of lives they haven't lived. So a cop and a scientist go in trying to figure out what is causing this as it starts to tear down reality around them. This is one of those hyped books that I supremely hope lives up to all the buzz it's been getting. And so far, from what I've heard, it has been for other people. I hope it will be for me. Let me know if you're planning to read this. I know a lot of people will be getting it, so let me know your thoughts. So that is it, just 3 books for June releases, though technically one was in May, forgive me. They're all going on my TBR, though I can't promise you that I'll read the rest of them this month. I already read The Last Pirate, but I don't know when I'll be reading Stranger Things or when I'll be reading Recursion, but I'll definitely let you know. I'm kind of using this month as a catch-up month for some of the books that have been sitting on my stack for a little while since I accepted less new ones coming in. I'm kind of hoping I can just, I don't know, play catch up a little bit. If you like this video, do me a favor, click that thumbs up button before you go and drop me a comment below. If you're new here and you haven't subscribed yet, but you do like all things bookish, book reviews, book hauls, TBRs, all the good bookish stuff, then I'm your girl. So go ahead, press that subscribe button, and I will see you on the next one. Thanks for watching. Bye, guys.